Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Real Wisdom Artificial Intelligence. So, today is April 6th. It is a Monday. I will write a newsletter, and I suspect it will be on the theme that I'm about to share with today's dose of Rashmi. So, today's dose of Rashmi is intellect is a tool for drawing boundaries, us, them, and then pursuing your surface level desires based on these perceived boundaries. Integrated intelligence, on the other hand, is doing what matters to you from a place of complete alignment of body, mind, emotions, and energy. So, I've talked about this AI futures modeling scenario that I have been doing for some time now called the race to conscious grid. This started as a result of the much more widely publicized and discussed, debated AI futures scenario by the AI Futures Project, which is a very well done analysis. Honestly, I really learned a lot from the detailed analysis that they've done and how the modeling has been evolving. And it is excellent piece of work. However, the two states that they could envision for the future are, one is called the runaway race, the other is a slowdown, which is still a race. And the authors themselves admit that both these scenarios are dystopian in outcome as far as humanity is concerned. However, they cannot envision anything else. And that is what happens when you're operating from your logical mind intellect alone, because intellect, while it is a very powerful instrument, it is a tool for discernment, for judging. It naturally helps you draw boundaries in terms of what is you, what is somebody else, and based on the identities that you take on, your boundaries will extend to us as a collective group of human beings. And there's always a them, which is outside of whatever identity that you are associated with. And then, since you're operating at logical mind intellect alone, you are not really in touch with emotions and intuitions that much. So you are operating at the surface level, and then trying to pursue whatever you desire in the external world. Integrated intelligence, on the other hand, is first turning inwards to determine what is it that you as a human being truly care about, and what emerges from a place of complete alignment of body, mind, emotions, and energy. And that will happen when you access your logical mind intellect plus your emotional heart and your intuitive gut. When you do that, whatever emerges will be a complete aligned state. And at that point, you will realize that all these identities that you have taken on, they are mostly perceived realities. What's real is there is a real identity. Yes, there is a you. So I'm not saying there are no boundaries. I'm not advocating for the complete transcendence of self. That is the territory of the spiritual gurus. I'm not a spiritual guru. I am, as I've said repeatedly in this series, what I'm advocating for is growth mindset plus plus, or Rashmi architecture layer 3, where you honor your individuality fully. Yet you realize that whatever identities you've taken on are a product of your mind, your imagination. And that way, yeah, boundaries are good. Anything that emerges that is not in alignment with your body, mind, emotions, and energy, don't engage in that. That is the art of prioritization that me as a product guy has been applying to every product that I build. And the realization for me through this series has been life is the ultimate product that any one of us is trying to build. So apply that art of prioritization based on a complete alignment of your body, mind, emotions, and energy. And whatever emerges out of that, engage in that. And whatever is not in alignment, deprioritize that. That's not urgent or important for you. And then whatever has emerged out of complete alignment, act on that. And that is how the conscious grid future will become a reality, because whatever emerges when each one of us operates from a full state of alignment, will make us realize that all these me versus you, us versus them, are just made up fictional perceived realities based on our mind's creation. And once you operate from an integrated intelligence of mind, emotions, and intuition, these boundaries will disappear. Using technology as a tool to drive shared prosperity for all of humanity and planet will become the reality. That is the conscious grid future. However, that can emerge only if all of us start operating at our integrated intelligence. If we only operate at the logical minded intellect, then the scenarios that AI Futures Project is projecting, unfortunately, are the scenarios that will end up playing out. However, with the tools that we are building, including the Rashmi mirror, we are confident that we all can get to this state of integrated intelligence and start operating from that, and the conscious grid will emerge. Thank you.